bruv, you are having a bubble.
Yo, what's going on guys, and welcome back to Flashback FIFA. Today we are going to be looking at Manchester City's team from 2007. Before all the crazy dollar they had, let's check out the team they used to rock with back in 2007. Now, a lot of people ask me how I make these teams. Now, I go onto a website called sofifa.com. I'll leave all these links in the description down below. They will give you the stats from previous FIFAs. I then go onto a website called FootWiz, use their custom squad builder and build the team that way. So if you guys want to build your own and send me them on Twitter, feel free to do that. I'll leave the links all down in the description below, and a like would be fantastic on this video. But before we get started into the team, if you're looking for very cheap and instant ultimate team coins, make sure you check out fifacoinstock.com. the link will be down in the description below. There's no waiting for your coins, your card pretty much gets bought instantly. But we'll move on to the team now, and the first player in goal is Gerrard. Now, they had another goalkeeper, I believe, a Swedish guy who is currently not in FIFA, so I put Gerrard in this team, and obviously he's more known. Obviously he's 83 rated at the moment, England's #1 goalkeeper, and back in 2007 he was 60 rated. Look at the difference a few years can make. Well, 6 years is quite a lot. He was actually very young then, but yeah, going from 60 rated to 83 is pretty impressive. Over the past few months he's made a couple of mistakes for club and country, and he's been under a lot of criticism, and you know, he's been dropped by Pellegrini a few times, but he's still a decent keeper in my opinion and should be England's #1 for the World Cup next year. Let me know your opinions on Gerrard. But we'll move on now to the right back, who is Micah Richards, who is still at Manchester City just like Gerrard. So he was there before any of the dollar came in from these Arab millionaires or billionaires even, and yeah, Richards was a silver back then. He even played centre back sometimes, so they were his stats. I mean, this guy over the past couple of years has had a couple of injuries, hasn't played much for City, and it's unfortunate because he's pretty decent when he actually plays, and that card would have been decent if it was a centre back. He was either a centre back or a right back. They were both his preferred positions. But we'll move on now to the second centre back of this team, and it is Richard Dunn. He's aging now, playing for QPR, currently a silver, and back then he had some decent stats, great pace, decent defending and decent heading, and probably would have been widely used in the Premier League teams if he still existed and had that card this year. But you know, 74 pace on him, it was pretty beast because he's quite tall as well, as you can see. But back then pace was quite overrated in the previous FIFAs, as we all know. So we'll move on to Distin, and you lot will know this guy from Everton, of course. He's currently playing for them now, doing a great job. Everton are doing awesome. But he was 83 rated back in FIFA 07 with 77 pace, 80 defending and 85 heading. That would have been an overpowered card because he is 6'4", I believe, which is just crazy. So that card would be fantastic to use. Remember guys, if you want to suggest teams for me to cover, make sure you drop them in the comment section below. I usually pick the ones that are most suggested. I see Liverpool suggested quite a bit, so that could be the next episode, and Chelsea as well. So let me know who else you want to see. So moving on, we do have Needham Anoa. I think that's how you say his name, Onua, I'm pretty sure. Obviously he's playing for QPR right now. He's a gold centre back in the Championship with decent pace, 77, but back in FIFA 07 he was young again and had 82 pace, 74 defending and 71 heading. And now if that English card existed in the Premier League these days, it would be at least over 100,000 coins with ease. I mean, that would have been a fantastic card to use. But the next player and the first midfielder of this team is Joey Barton, hated by quite a lot of people, but that card looks absolutely awesome. He was pretty fast, had decent defending and decent passing. Now there's, you know, this guy's been in prison, he's a bit of a knobhead on the pitch and whatnot. Let me know what you think about Joey Barton. Some people like the banter he has on Twitter. Sometimes he acts like an absolute twat, but you know, he's a okay player, I guess, currently playing for QPR in the Championship. So we'll move on now to the right midfielder of this team, but I had to put a striker there because half of the players that Manchester City had in 07 have now retired. So at right mid I put Ishmael Miller. He's playing for Nottingham Forest at the moment, pretty much kept the same stats as what he has now. He was quite low rated back then and he's still quite low rated now as a bronze, but we'll move on from him swiftly to DeMarcus Beasley, the pacey guy from the MLS, currently playing in the MLS, sorry, and he was 80 rated for Manchester City back then. That is 10 ratings higher than what he is currently rated right now, and he had some pretty decent stats with 90 pace, 76 passing, and that could have been pretty deadly running down the left hand side of him, crossing it in with his left foot to some big striker. But Man City have improved so much over these past few years. It is unbelievable. The players they've got now are just world class, and it just shows what money can do in football and for your club. Now that's not taking a dig at Man City. I mean, if your club had money injected into them like that, you wouldn't be moaning at all, to be fair. So we'll move on now to the centre attacking mid of the team, and it is Stephen Ireland. He's of course still around playing for Stoke City. Recently got in form for his performance against Chelsea. He's a gold card. Back then he was a silver card, and that is pretty much all I've got to say about Stephen Ireland. I mean, he was a decent player, I guess, but he's not a standout player, unlike this guy on the screen right now, and that is Daniel Sturridge, currently at Liverpool, scoring tons of goals. He's injured at the moment, so can't wait for him to come back and partner up with Luis Suarez. Liverpool are just a force at the moment, just doing so good, and Daniel Sturridge did provide the goals when Suarez was out for the first 5 games, and I can't wait for him to come back. It will be awesome. But he was a silver card from Man City back in FIFA 07. He was very young, 17 I think, and they are some decent stats. I mean, his pace has gone up so much obviously in the last couple of years. It's now 90. He's also got 4-star skills now, which is class. So yeah, he had a silver card back then. And yeah, we'll move on to the last player of the team, and it is Georgios Samras, playing for Celtic currently. He's a silver card for Celtic actually, with higher pace than that, but he's very tall, as you can see, at 193 centimeters, and that was his gold card. Him and Sturridge partnered up front. This is the whole Man City team back in 2007. Obviously there's a couple of players missing because they've retired and whatnot, but yeah guys, that is a pretty average looking team, to be fair. And you know, all the money going into Man City right now is just ridiculous. They've got Yaya Toure, they've got Aguero, they've got David Silva, they've got Negredo, Jesus Navas. That's just to name a few. Obviously Company being a class centre back and the captain of the team, just doing amazing at the moment. The first in the Premier League as I'm recording this today. But I'm going to leave the video here guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember to suggest teams that you want to see, maybe Liverpool, Chelsea, Milan, Bayern Munich, I don't know, you let me know in the comment section below, and the most requested one I'll do in the next episode. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and I will see you soon. Take care.